will see what is cosine transform and Hadamard-Vash-Hadamard transform in this lecture. So first we start with the cosine transform. We have already seen the Fourier transform. Okay, so in cosine transform, in Fourier transform, what you have done is you have the signal you represent in terms of exponential. Okay, so the cosine transform, we, as the name implies, we represent the signal in terms of cosine functions. Okay, so first you consider the case of an one-dimensional signal un. Consider you are having a one-dimensional signal un, and consider this is n is like it is a time limited signal. That is, here consider your value of n varies from 0 to n or capital N minus 1. That is, we are having a time limited signal or one-dimensional sequence. Now we have to find out what is the DCT. Okay, to write down the equation for DCT, discrete cosine transform of this signal. Okay, so discrete cosine transform of u of n, we represent it as Pk. Okay, we represent the discrete cosine transform of the sequence as Pk. Pk equal to, so un is your original signal. So you have un. U, as the name implies, in cosine transform we are representing un in terms of cosine terms instead of exponential. So we are representing it as a cosine function. So cos of pi 2n plus 1, pi 2n plus 1 into k divided by 2n, where n is the length of the sequence. Okay, so here you have the variable as n. So as we know, we are having a sequence length ranges from 0 to n minus 1. So n ranges from 0 to capital N minus 1. And in cosine transform, in addition to this, you have a scaling factor alpha k. Okay, so for the kth coefficient, you have the scaling factor alpha k. Okay, so you have the signal written as a combination of your cosine function, and you have an extra scaling term alpha k. So this alpha k is the kth coefficient, and for k equal to 0, this alpha k will take the value root of 1 by n, and for all other values of k, this alpha k will take the value root of 2 by n. Okay, so the alpha k will take the value 1 by root of 1 by n for k equal to 0. For all other values of k, that is for 1 to n minus 1, all other values of k from 1 to n minus 1, it will take the value root of 2 by n. So this is our cosine transform. Now from the cosine transform, we can write down the cosine transform matrix. Let I represent it as CKN. When we studied the Fourier transform, we have represented by the transformation matrix in terms of 1j minus j, etc. Similarly, we can write it in terms of the cosine transformation matrix. As we know, this alpha k is having two values, only root of 1 by n, root of 2 by n. I can split this cosine transformation matrix. 1 for k equal to 0. K equal to 0, this alpha k is root of 1 by n. Then for k equal to 0, you have cos 0, that is 1. So this is the value for k equal to 0. This is the value of the transformation matrix for k equal to 0. And n as the usual. N range from 0 to n minus 1. That is as usual. And this is for k equal to 0. When k equal to 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1, your value will be root of 2 by n. So you will be having root of 2 by n for all other values of k. That is 1 less than k less than n minus 1. For all other values of k, your value is root of 2 by n, and n you have the same range. Okay, so this is the DCT, and this is the DCT expression, and this is a cosine transform matrix. Now you can write down the inverse. Now you can write down the inverse DCT. So inverse means you have to represent un in terms of Pk. So you have un, you are representing it in terms of Pk. Okay. So again, this term is the same. So you are having cos of pi 2n plus 1 into k divided by 2n. That this term is the same. Then you have alpha k also. So here the alpha k comes inside the summation, because for Vk you have k is the variable. K is the variable. So this alpha k also come inside the summation, and k varies from 0 to n minus 1. So this is a expression for inverse transform. This cosine transform has so many properties. Okay, this cosine transform has so many properties, and first one it is real and orthogonal. This cosine transform is real and orthogonal. That is, if I take C, it is real means cosine transform is conjugate, C conjugate will be same. Similarly, if I take the inverse, that will be equal to C transform. That is one property. Then second property, it is always periodic with period 2n. Cosine transform is periodic with period 2n. Then when you find out the cosine transform, that is when you find out the values of the sec n, most of the values will be very small. Okay, transfer coefficients will be very small. That means the energy is highly packed only in the few transform coefficients. Most of the coefficients will be very small. Energy is highly packed in few transform coefficients. So this property can be used for compression. Similarly, one more property of the cosine transform is it is very fast transform. Cosine transform is very fast transform. We can calculate it in the order of n log n to the base 2 operations by an endpoint FFT. So that is all about cosine transform. Then next type of transform is Wash-Hadamard transform. Okay, next type is Wash-Hadamard transform. It is actually called Hadamard transform, simply called Hadamard transform, or also known as Wash-Hadamard transform. So the basic property of this Wash-Hadamard transform is when I take the basis vector of this Hadamard transform, this basis vector takes a binary value either plus or minus 1. Okay, this is the main advantage. So it can be used for digital signal processing. Okay, then if I write on here I have the cosine transformation matrix. Similarly, if I write on the Hadamard transformation matrix, I represent it as Hn. This Hn will be an n by n matrix, will be a capital N by n matrix, where capital N will be equal to 2 raised to small n. Okay, this Hn will be, when I write on the nth order Hadamard matrix, it will be an n by n matrix, and it is where n is equal to 2 raised to n. For example, if I write H2 means here value of n will be equal to 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 2 is 4. So you will be having H2 will be a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay. So usually we start with a core matrix. When you find out the Hadamard matrix, you start with a core matrix. We start with the core matrix H1. We start with the core matrix H1. And the higher order, all the higher order matrix we can find it using the Kronecker product. So if I want to find out Hn, if I want to find out the Hadamard matrix of order and Hn will be Hn minus 1. That is the Hadamard matrix of previous order, Kronecker product H1. Okay, so this equation can be used to find out Hadamard matrix of any order. Only thing is you have to know the core matrix. If you know the core matrix H1, any Hadamard matrix of higher order can be found out. So we can see one example. If I have H1 is my core matrix. So H1, as I said, it is having only value 1 and minus 1. So H1 is 1 by root 2, 1, 1, 1 minus 1. This is my core matrix. So if I want to find out the order 2, what I have to do? I have to if I want to find H2, H2 will be H1 Kronecker product H1. Is it? H1 Kronecker product H1. So if I want to find H2 will be Hn minus 1. Hn minus 1 is H1 Kronecker product H1. That is my expression. Okay. So I have H1 I have this is the core matrix. You already know what is H1. H1 is 1 by root 2, 1, 1, 1 minus 1. So you have to take the Kronecker product with H1. H1 is again 1 by root 2, 1, 1, 1 minus 1. So how to find out the Kronecker product means this 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 I will take outside. So I will be having 1 by root 4 into this whole multiplied by first element. Okay. Then this whole multiplied by 1. Then this whole multiplied by 1. Then this whole multiplied by minus 1. that will be my value. So I will be having 4 values. So the first value will be 1, 1, 1 minus 1. Second value this multiplied by again 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1. And third one will be this multiplied by 1. So again 1, 1, 1 minus 1. And the fourth value will be again multiplied by minus 1. So it will be minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, 1. Okay. This is how I find out the order 2. So that is explained here. If I have H1 is this, H2 will be this multiplied by 1, then second 4 elements will be this multiplied by 1, then this again multiplied by 1, then this multiplied by minus 1. So if I find out the value of order 3, what will be my expression? 1 by, here I have 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2, that is 1 by 2. Then order 3 I will be having 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2, that is 1 by root 8, that is 1 by root 8 is written as 1 by 2 raised to 3 by 2. Then H3 will be H2 Kronecker product H1, is it? This is H2. So H2 Kronecker product H1 means the first element will be H2 into 1. So this will be my first element, H2 into 1, this one. Okay. Then second element means again H2 into 1. So this will be my second H2 into 1. What about the third element will be again H2 into 1. So this will be H2 into 1. Then what about the fourth element? H2 into minus 1. H2 into minus 1. Okay, that is all about Kronecker product. The same thing you can do to find out any order. Okay. So this is how we find out the Hadamard transformation matrix. So if we know the Hadamard transformation matrix, we can find out the Hadamard transform of any input sequence. Okay, consider I am having an input sequence U. If I want to find out the Hadamard transform of U, that is if I have the input matrix U, and if I want to find out the Hadamard transform, that is Hadamard transform is represented as B equal to Hadamard matrix H into U. Okay, this is how I find out the Hadamard transform. B equal to Hadamard matrix H into U, or you can write down the inverse U equal to when I write down the inverse U equal to H into V. So this is how I found out the inverse. Okay, Hadamard transform and this inverse where H is a Hadamard matrix. Okay, this Hadamard transform also has some properties. First one, it is real, symmetric and orthogonal. That is, it is real means Hadamard matrix H and H conjugate are the same. Similarly, his H transpose is the same and H inverse is the same. Okay, that is why I have written H inverse is equal to H. That is why I have written U equal to H into V. Okay, these are the properties. Then one other properties, as we know, this Hadamard matrix will be having only value plus or minus 1. Okay, it is having only plus or minus 1. So there is no need for any multiplication. When you find H into U, there is no need for multiplication operation because there is only plus and minus. So you can simply do with some addition or subtraction is enough. Then another property is similar to cosine transform, it was good energy conversion. Then the one more property, when you find out the natural order of the Hadamard transfer coefficient, it is equal to the bit reverse gray code representation of its sequences. Okay, so that is all about Hadamard transform and its property. Okay, thank you.